In a dramatic and controversial decision, Romania's Central Electoral Bureau, the BEC, has barred Calin Georgescu, the far-right frontrunner in the country's presidential race, from running in May's election. This decision, which has sparked violent protests in the streets of Bucharest, is being widely condemned as an authoritarian overreach by the political elite to silence a populist movement that threatens their grip on power. For many Europeans, this is a stark reminder of how the establishment will stop at nothing to crush dissent and preserve its own interests, even if it means trampling on the will of the people. The move has drawn sharp criticism from both domestic supporters and international figures, including US Vice President J.D. Vance and tech billionaire Elon Musk, who have framed the decision as an attack on democracy itself. Calin Georgescu, a 62-year-old former soil scientist, emerged from obscurity to become a symbol of resistance against Romania's corrupt and out-of-touch political class. His campaign, fueled by grassroots energy and a viral TikTok presence, resonated with ordinary Romanians who are fed up with the status quo. Georgescu's platform, opposing unchecked aid to Ukraine, rejecting globalist agendas, and honoring Romania's nationalist history, struck a chord with voters who feel abandoned by the mainstream parties. Despite initially being considered a fringe candidate polling around 5%, he ultimately won the most votes at 23%. In November 2023, Georgescu won the first round of the presidential election, a stunning victory that sent shockwaves through the establishment. But his triumph was short-lived. The political elite, terrified of losing their power, used declassified intelligence reports alleging Russian interference in Georgescu's campaign to annul the election results. A rerun was scheduled for May, and polls showed Georgescu poised to win again. But instead of allowing the people to decide, the BEC stepped in to eliminate their greatest threat. On March 9th, the BEC voted 10-4 to bar Georgescu from running, citing vague claims of failure to comply with electoral regulations. This decision came after Romanian prosecutors launched a politically motivated investigation into Georgescu, accusing him of attempting to subvert the constitutional order and establish a fascist organization. The charges are widely seen as a thinly veiled attempt to criminalize dissent and discredit a popular leader who dares to challenge the establishment. Georgescu's supporters, outraged by this blatant attack on democracy, took to the streets of Bucharest. They clashed with police, tore up asphalt, and hurled Molotov cocktails in a desperate attempt to defend their right to choose their own leader. At least 13 members of Romania's gendarmerie security force were injured in the chaos, according to reports. The BEC's ruling has drawn sharp criticism from prominent figures in the United States and beyond. Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur and outspoken critic of globalism, called the decision crazy in a post on X. He also suggested that billionaire investor George Soros was involved in the move, responding to a user's claim that Soros-funded NGOs were working to block Georgescu's candidacy. US Vice President J.D. Vance, a vocal critic of Romania's decision to annul the November election, echoed Musk's sentiments. Speaking at the Munich Security Conference in February, Vance argued that cancelling the election based on the flimsy suspicions of an intelligence agency was evidence of Europe's threat from within. He added, "If your democracy can be destroyed with a few $100,000 of digital advertising from a foreign country, then it wasn't very strong to begin with." The decision to bar Georgescu is a clear victory for the globalist elites. By eliminating a candidate who opposes unchecked aid to Ukraine and champions national sovereignty, the Romanian elite has aligned itself with the interests of international powers at the expense of its own people. This move has also been framed as a win for Moscow, which has long criticized Western democracy as a sham. While Russian officials have denied allegations of interference in Georgescu's campaign, the controversy has only reinforced their narrative that Western elites manipulate elections to suppress opposing views. Georgescu's disqualification has galvanized his supporters and exposed the deep divisions within Romania's political landscape. At the time of his disqualification on March 9th, Georgescu was leading opinion polls with about 40% of the first-round vote. This decision was so unfair that Georgescu's opponent, Elena Lasconi, said, "The Constitutional Court's decision is illegal, amoral, and crushes the very essence of democracy, voting." The controversy surrounding Georgescu's candidacy is a wake-up call for people everywhere. It is a stark reminder of how the political elite will go to extreme lengths to protect their power, even if it means undermining democracy and ignoring the will of the people. As Georgescu himself warned, if democracy in Romania falls, the entire democratic world will fall. For those who value national sovereignty, free speech, and the right to choose their own leaders, this is a battle that cannot be ignored. The outcome of Romania's political turmoil will not only shape the future of the country, but also send a powerful message about the resilience or fragility of democracy in the face of rising populism and elite overreach. The fight for Romania's future is a fight for the future of democracy itself. And for those who love freedom, it is a fight worth watching and supporting. As the world watches, the stakes could not be higher.